Yo, what's up guys? Chris here, and this is a response video to Darcy, 6 strings, 9 lives. He made a thread, and it's basically, if there's only 10 albums that you can keep in your collection, you know, it's like a scenario where, let's say, like the apocalypse happened or something like that, and you can only keep 10 albums, which 10 would they be? And when he announced this thread, I got actually really excited because I would sit in my car and I would think about this a lot. Like, what 10 albums do I have to have to survive, I guess you could say. And when he made this thread, I was like, oh crap, here's my perfect opportunity. Because I already had like 8 of them, like, for sure down. It was the other 2, there's 2 in here that I just had like, was like, yeah, I don't know, like, can I live without that? Can I not live without it? And I was looking through my collection, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't think I can. And the thing is, I also had to plan these 2 strategically. So, because he says, like, strategy is going to have to come into play with these as well. And I definitely see that. So, without further ado, here are my 10 albums that are, that I cannot live without, and that I personally need. So, first one, I've talked about this album before, Blackwater Park by Opeth. Opeth's best album, in my opinion. Some of the best music composition I've heard, and it's brutal, it's melodic, it's beautiful at the same time. Yeah, I think this would be perfect in like a situation where, like, you wanted an album that was kind of everywhere when it came to like brutality and mellowness, and Opeth's gonna get you there for sure. All right, so next one on the list, Images and Words by Dream Theater. Once again, another, and this album right here is a strategic pick. Because I was thinking to myself, do I want to hear, you know, growls in every album that I have? Do I want something that's a little bit more upbeat, something that's going to just, you know, I could listen to and I could just, because with Dream Theater, them being prog metal, especially Images and Words being one of their best albums of all time, I was saying to myself, you know, if I want something that's going to take me on a musical journey, just to relax, you know, during whatever the situation's going on, you know, I have to say that I would need some Dream Theater in my life, and I went with Images and Words. Next up on the list, I've always talked highly about this album, this band, and that is Terminal Redux by Vector. This album, I think there's just some songs on here that I just need to hear, especially their ballad, Collapse. Yeah, I definitely need to have this album with me, if I want to go on to like if I just want to headbang and listen to some techie thrash, this has got my back. So, the next one on the list, this is, Darcy actually showed this one off in his video, and that is Ride the Lightning by Metallica. You need Metallica. You gotta have at least one album of theirs in your top 10, or in the 10 that you need to survive. I think, you know, we might as well go with their best album they made, in my opinion. That is Ride the Lightning. You got everything that you want in this album. From Metallica, you have thrashy songs, and then you also have, like I said, the mellowness and a lot of acoustic guitar and stuff, and it's great stuff. Ride the Lightning by Metallica. Now, this album right here comes in at no surprise, and that is The Fragile Art of Existence by Control Denied. I also own the vinyl, as you guys know. Just don't feel like going and getting it down. But yeah, The Fragile Art of Existence by Control Denied. I have to have Chuck's last album that he ever made. I have to have it with me. You know, there's just some songs on here too that, you know, really, you know, just resonate with me. Especially the third song, Expect the Unexpected. I think that's also a really, really good song. Probably the best song on this album. But, you know, it resonates really well. And a lot of songs on here do resonate with me. And it's an all-around just amazing album that I need. So, again, another band that you just have to have, because I don't see us metalheads going an apocalyptic situation or whatever situation is without this band, and that is Iron Maiden, Powerslave. So I own a lot of Iron Maiden albums, and I just had to go with my favorite one, and that's Powerslave. So many good songs on this album. Just everything that you want, and it's Maiden. You know, you have to have Iron Maiden, in my opinion, and it's especially this album. Great stuff all around. Yeah, man, Iron Maiden, Powerslave. So this one is actually a newer released album. Came out in 2017. I have shown it off before, and that is Urn by Neobliviscaris. Now, this was another strategic pick, due to the fact this has a little bit of a musical change-up, and that is with a violin. So, am I going to want to listen to guitars and drums all the time? Or am I going to want to listen to a band that has a little bit of something different, something that all these other bands don't have? And this band has a violin, it has two different singers, cleans and growls, and each one of their songs, in my opinion, is a musical masterpiece at best. And Urn by Neobliviscaris, I believe, is one that I need to survive. Now, if you've been watching the videos I've made, you know for a fact that this band was going to come up, and especially this album, Rust in Peace, Megadeth. Now this, no-brainer. This is one of the albums where, like, right when Darcy said albums that you can't live with, I was like, Rust in Peace, Megadeth. Like, that already was in my head. I'm like, Rust in Peace, Megadeth. I need this album. Because, like I said, I think it has the best solo on here. I think it has the best song on here. It has everything that I want. Like, I can't live without Holy Wars. I can't live without Tornado of Souls. I can't live out with a lot of those songs on this album. And, you know, being, in my opinion, Megadeth's greatest album, and in my opinion, the greatest thrash album, I need it. And it's definitely coming with me with the other 10 albums. So, we also have, so to continue on, another thrash album that I just cannot live without, and to me is Testament's best album, is The New Order by Testament, man. You know, I was kind of torn. Do I want this, or do I want the Legacy? And I was like, you know, I think I want The New Order. The New Order is what sealed me in with Testament. This is the album I'm like, yeah, I love Testament, and this is the album that got me hooked on them. And so without a shadow of a doubt, this is an album that's coming with me, and it's going to be in my CD player or whatever I'm using to listen to music at the time. So this is one of the 10 albums for sure. So, last but not least, I think everyone who's watching this, who's seen my channel, knows that this band was going to pop up. And Symbolic by Death. I think, you know, I need death metal, man. I need the best kind of death metal, and that is Symbolic by Death. Yeah, this is, you know, in my opinion, Death's best work. It's progressive death metal, and it's also just plain death metal. There's a balance in this album. It's everything. I love this album. This is my favorite Death album. And Death is in my top 5 favorite bands of all time. So I definitely need this album with me. And yeah, Symbolic by Death. So that is the 10 albums that I need personally to survive, I guess you could say, or if there was a situation where someone had to take my albums and said you can only keep 10 albums, and these would probably be the 10 I'll choose. Of course, as musical taste changes and as new albums are released, or concerts I go to, that may change. This is always subject to change, which, you know, that's what's great about music. Music evolves, music changes, and with metal, you know, yeah, it's gonna change. Bands are gonna change, and it could change in a really good way. And so there could be an album that comes out where I'm like, oh man, you know, and 5, 6, 7 years down the road, I'm like, man, I need that album. You know what I'm saying? So these are the 10 albums that I need. I'm just gonna add a little twist. Basically, the highlight, so my top 3 albums out of the 10. So I have like a rotation when I listen to albums. I kind of just go down the shelf. I pick one CD off each part of the shelf and go with it. But if I had since these are the only 10 CDs I'm gonna have, I'm kind of adding on to this more than what I probably should. But if there's 3 albums out of the 10 that I need, here, let me go ahead and show them to you guys real quick. It'll be these 3: Megadeth, Death, Opeth. I would need these 3. These will probably be the 3 most played albums out of those 10 for sure. Yeah, Darcy, I love the thread, man. I love the idea. Right when I watched your video, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for something like this. And I'll be honest, I was thinking about making a thread like that too, but I never knew if it was already made and whatnot. And I was like, you know, I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna go, but I love how you did it, and I'm glad that you're the one who made the thread and not me, because I've been thinking about it, because I think about this a lot. Like I said at the beginning, I think about which albums do I really need, just, you know, just in such a scenario where maybe, you know, I just don't have space for albums, you know, and I need to start selling them. Like, which albums do I guarantee I'm not going to sell that I need? And so these are the 10 albums for sure I wouldn't sell, I wouldn't get rid of one bit. I would need them just to keep my ears happy. But yeah, guys, thank you all for checking out my video. Keep it heavy, and let's keep these responses going for Darcy. He has a great channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below to his channel. You can check out, you know, the videos that he makes. He definitely way better than me, has a way bigger collection than me. Yeah, this was an awesome thread, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.